So, how goes it? Uh, so I'm just looking at Finn's face here. Flynn's face, not Finn's face. Flynn's face. I'm a little tired this morning. Don't know why, because I fell asleep at the right time. Didn't even get woken up. I'm just tired. But gonna be working on a little list here. That is, where's my little list here? This thing. Did I ever do these? I put them in doing, but I'm not sure if I actually did them. You know, I kind of did this one. I'm very confused. I need to add another one of these things that I can start dragging things to. Make this completed for tutorial sprint. Okay, so I did that. I did do the visualization. And I did do the setting to remove head ball. I kind of have this, but I don't have the monster part of it. And then I don't think I ever even looked at these. I might have put the dark and blurry though on the desk screen. Okay, no, it's got dark and blurry on it, so that should be fine. I don't honestly recall actually looking into these, so I'm gonna leave those over here. I did actually figure out a better way to support multiple input speeds. I just don't have it as a setting yet. Just making, maybe I'll make that actually there. Add setting for defining Morse code speed and forgiveness value. Okay. I guess should we open that? We'll see. Okay. Did our little bit of housekeeping. So yeah, this is the next thing. So add tutorial hints for things like turn on flashlight, charge flashlight, move to sprint, etc. So that sounds a lot simpler than it is because now I haven't implemented it yet, but I was planning on implementing the idea of like you can change your key bindings. And I maybe should do that. Because if I'm like starting to instruct you like, hey, press this to do that, but you've changed the key code, the key binding, then it should probably change to the new key binding. So how I would have to then, at this point, go to input manager basically. Figure out a way to make input manager start using the new input system. It's kind of where I'm at. But I also have to learn how to use the input management system because I've never really gotten into it. But I guess that's a good enough thing for do for a stream, even though I might spend up not even really fully getting to this if I do that. But hey, it's what it is. It's what it is. So to do that, I'm just gonna look up manual stuff. Unity input system. Quick start guide. Let's just look at that, I guess. Okay. So get input directly from a device. The quickest way to get started in scope is to read the current state directly from input devices. For example, following code gets a gamepad that the player last used and reads its current state. Interesting. Okay, gamepad current or keyboard current or mouse current. Okay. You get input directly through an input action. Follow these steps. Add a player input component. Create actions. Okay, getting input directly from an input device is quick and convenient, but requires a separate path for each type of a device. It also makes it harder to later change, which, yeah, okay. Alternatively, you can use actions as an intermediary between devices and in-game responses they trigger. The easiest way to do this is use the player input component. To add this component, we add it to the game object, okay? And create actions. Each player input component represents one player in the game. Okay. To receive input, the component must be connected to a set of input actions. The quickest way to create a new set of actions is to click the Create Actions button in the inspector window for that component. This creates an asset pre-populated with the default set of input action maps, input actions, and input bindings. Okay. Oh yeah, so it kind of like creates a setup. Okay. When you click the Create Actions button, Unity asks what you want to create you want to create the new asset. Choose a name inside the folder Assets. Click OK. Creates a new input actions asset in your folder. It connects it to the player input component and brings up the ID. Alright, for the actions, yeah. So I've seen this thing before. Hit the screen. Once the opponent has an action, it must be set up to respond to each action. Okay, so you can set it up how it should be working, I guess. My details about see the options. Above uses invoke Unity event, which uses a Unity event the same way the Unity UI does. Unity displays an event for each action. This allows you to directly wire the target method for each event. Okay. Right, okay. Setup? So, okay, no. Read some of these actions, set of input actions. To receive input, player must have an associated set of actions. Okay, but just want to see if I can like find. So an action. Okay, so I've actually got to the documentation side. I prefer reading these things more. Yes, you can do the value to get. Because it gives you an input value. Okay. So you get the actions, you hold on to them. Hey, this dog roll call. Kirby is here. He is. No, I can't see him there. Yeah, no. There. Yep. The usual. Okay, you want some treats? Can we make it up the egg chair this time? Yes. Oh, treat over there. What's your neck from? How you doing today, Karazest? Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to know. Okay, if I have this, I can do things. I can look it up in a dictionary and read the value. You don't do this in on enable, as player itself will be performing some initializing work in on enable. Okay, so you can do it in start. I don't know why they have to do it on update. I don't even know what on update is. Quite busy at work. I am going to be eventually adding the hints, but then I realized to do that, I actually need to be able to display the key that you need to be pressing to do the thing. So then I realized, well, if I eventually do want to support the like switching of key bindings and stuff, I probably just need to redo my input system to like Unity's new one, because I've been using the old one, and the old one's really nice and convenient until the point that you want to like change key bindings for it. So I am going to be doing that. So I'm going to figure out how to do the input system and then going from there. Just so for the people that don't like how I've set up the key bindings, they can change it how they want. It also might let me. I could spoil this already, but I'm still debating whether or not I can support controller or not. I would like to. I just need to figure out a way of doing the input screen for the chests and the codes and stuff like that reasonable. Because controller is really going to struggle there if I don't get something that's half decent for entering the code in. So, yeah. So, for the input stuff, I'm going to need to basically make a persistent manager, I think. Now that hopefully it is. I think controller is one of these things that's just becoming more and more common that people just want to play with a controller. I guess supporting it would like allow me to be able to get into certain like consoles, but it's not what I'm really focusing on right now. Although I may regret that because you know, the whatchamacallit. What is it? You know, I had to remake more screens with controller support later, but it's what it is. Okay. So if my input manager is gonna what I want to do, do I want to just make this not a static class? But I'd still probably want all these things to be static. I just might not make the class static, and then I might make it a persistent game manager that then can supply some things statically to this. I think that's probably the flow I'm going to be doing here. Implement abstract class for me, please. Right, so just as initialize. Now I think on initialize actually happens in start, if I remember correctly. In awake, sorry. Base manager hubs, awake. They init the managers. Yeah, but it's in a subset of awake. So what they're saying about how player input does some setup, I wouldn't be able to do it in initialize. Unless I like waited a frame, but it's probably just better to do void start. So what I could do is I'll go yeah, private bool underscore is it has started and action on init complete. So if I think almost certainly this is going to call the first, but if has started, we will just call them complete because we've completed our initialization. Otherwise, return on init complete equals. There we go. And then start. I'm going to have to do a bunch of stuff, but at the very end, I'm going to basically say has started equals true and underscore on init complete dot invoke before setting it null. Okay. So start this. Okay. So Next part is there's going to be a serialized field for this private. I can't remember. I think I need to. Yeah, you'll automatically import that. Okay. Yeah, we'll go underscore layer input. There we go. Enable input on the player. I assume it's got to be. Yeah, I assume it's got to be active already. Then I have my actions. Okay. And it has a dot action map. And is this like a read? Weird. Okay. So it's not a dictionary. I was hoping it would be a dictionary. Oh, is that bindings that's like a dictionary? Huh. Yeah, so I'll have to maybe look into that a little bit more. Just gonna be right back. I'll be like 2 minutes. Right. Hope you enjoyed the Kirby time. Also, a little bit of my couch there. It's an unfortunate aspect that I have to walk through this area. I don't know how to not. I guess I would like crouch. I could crouch. I'll crouch next time. Because that's just awkward. It's really awkward. Don't want to subject you guys to that. So I'll crouch next time. Okay, Kirby should patch because he's a good boy. Entertaining the people while I'm gone. So we have our player input. So I'm gonna start setting some of this up. So on input manager, just gonna play around with the Unity side of things. He's just sitting there being cute. Very good entertainer at being cute and sitting there sometimes. So we'll make input manager. That's not what I wanted. I gotta recompile, I think. That's it. Just checking the Discord message, but that wasn't anything I needed to take care of now. All right. So in input manager here, now I should be able to add input manager and then go player input. Then we're going to go create actions. And then we have to make a spot in this. So I guess let's make a folder. Or is this like a configs data thing? Sure. Still make a folder in here though, for input specifically. And then we will go and create actions. And then go data configs input. I'm probably just gonna write keyboard. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that or not, but we'll do that for now. And there's this whole thing where you can like generate a C# class of it, which I'm definitely tempted to do. I'm just not quite sure when, like how to use them. You have move, you have look, and you have fire. The default system. Okay, so I guess they do have. Okay, so I could probably rename this to be player input. It's probably just it's a catch-all, it seems. It has everything, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so you can rename it like that. There's UI. Oh, the maps. Yeah, okay. Oh, so this is what they mean, is that like in different, like this is kind of different contexts. So I bet you can like can select those. Just okay. Um, okay, so over here just to check. So we have any auto switch default map player. Unless you can actually like you can switch between the maps, I assume. Not sure what I want to do. I'm gonna say C# events. We'll see, and then input debugger settings. So I think you would switch the map, like when I'm doing input blocking. Instead, I'd probably just be switching the context. So if I'm switching to UI or terminal manager, I would be enabling the UI map, I guess is what they're saying, and then you would be disabling the player map on none. And then for these two, it would just be disabling all. I think that's kind of what they're doing with that setup. Current action map. Is this a settable thing? Yeah, you can actually equal it to something. But, okay. Note the current concept of action map is local to the player input. You can still freely enable and disable action maps directly on the player actions asset. This property only tracks which action map has been enabled under the control of player input, either by means of player. Switch current action map string. Okay, so you can actually just call. And you can actually set null. Okay, cool. And then do some stuff like that. All right. I like that. Okay. So I do actually need to make this into a singleton, but I'll probably make it a private one. Private static input manager instanso equals get sent. I just want to write private set, but yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then in here, well, no matter what, set instance equals this. Okay. Now, the way this is gonna function basically is we probably need a private method down here. So private evaluate void void handle blocker state. So hey Hopeless, thanks for the lurk. Hope you're doing well. So what I'll probably want to define here is I'll define private static const. I'm gonna be able to make it a const. So no input blockers. Actually, and this should have a type. And this will equal blocker flags loading screen and or that's or right, and then blocker flags sleeping. Yeah, sleeping. So these two block all input. Whereas I want to go, I said UI input blockers is terminal manager and UI. And then what I'll do here is if underscore blocker flags and the no input blockers is greater than 0. So basically one of those is defined. I need to probably like this. Yeah. Say no input. I will just check here, I guess, if underscore there's actually a better way to could make this static, but it's not actually quite true. We'll make a different bool for this. Private bool that's static. Be static has initialized. Because Unity's default null check is a little slower, we'll just do this way. And this is basically not null check. So if as initialized, I guess if I haven't initialized, we will return. And then I guess I should, in that situation, handle the blocker state when I initialize, just in case like I'm open a loading screen or something like that. The loading screen would pop this up, and so I don't want it crashing because I'm using stuff on the initialization blocker here. But so That's the reason for that. And so then we go instance. And I can freely use instance without having to worry that it's going to crash or anything. And put dot switch current action map to be null, I think is what they said. Name or ID. Let's just go check that. What do they get to the methods? Methods. Okay. I'll check this activated foot. It's enabled. However, this method can be called to reactivate after deactivating. Yeah. Current match map only. Okay. Yeah, and then switch current action map. Right. That's not the greatest description. All right. You know, you could have maybe given me a little bit more to go on there, but maybe if I go to the fields, there was current action map. Okay. The concept of current action map is local to play. Yeah, we read this one. But then I went to this, and this doesn't have any other more information. So that's kind of a useless seal also, but. Current action map, right? Yeah, so. The current action map is. Disable action maps directly on the action's asset. This property only tracks which action map has been enabled under the control of player output. Okay. Or null if no. So if no action map has been enabled, that must mean that you can set them to be off. Right? I think that must mean what that is. Just to check. Okay, well, we'll try that. We'll see how this works, and if it doesn't work, then we'll try something else. We're basically going to do the same if, except just with a different thing here. UI, let's go blockers. And then we're going to do this. To be UI. I think that's what it's called. And then otherwise, we are going to take this and we're going to go out and set it to you sneaky little guy. It's changing the layouts on me. Player. Was that actually all caps? No, it wasn't. Okay. player. Okay. And so what we're going to do is, in all these cases, once we've changed, oh, this has got to be static. Yeah. Static. We're just going to evaluate the state. And so then that should actually handle a lot of the input for us. We don't need to do anything there. Well, hey, Radical. How's it going? Thanks for jumping in and joining. I'm currently redoing my inputs. Good. Yeah, so like what I'm saying, I'm redoing my inputs. Unity, like a few years ago, released this like input system that's got a lot more control and everything. I've been lazy and never used it before because their old system was just easy to use, but it gives you less functionality kind of. So I'm finally upgrading basically to this new system. And just kind of slowly getting used to it. Figuring out how it is. Ah, thank you for following.
Radical Foil 1796 just followed.
Okay, so hat switch, delta, Joe. Okay, so these are the lookings, and I'm doing the stuff. I guess so. At least I should probably be first trying to at least get this to work. So, I'm just gonna go wholesale, remove everything that does not use. Remove the old system, and then just basically reintegrate every single input back into this new system. It's probably the way I'm gonna need to do it. So, we'll do get access first, I think. So the idea here is if has initialized is false, though, we were going to just return. So yeah, I would have thought so too. I was a little surprised. So if we have not initialized, we're going to return. So if I'm throwing you basically into a very code-heavy stream, but hopefully, if you have questions about this or anything like that, just feel free to ask. Might be a little bit too codey for someone if you're not accustomed to code and all. We're toying through how inputs working. So input blocked actually shouldn't be a thing anymore. Because we're probably not needing to manage that. It's weird how people say, yeah, I've definitely heard people say that. I actually kind of like, you kind of wonder, like, I don't even know, like, some of the people that I followed, because I, like, showed up once their stream, I followed them, and then I've, like, never seen them stream again, and I wonder if it's just because, it somehow unfollowed them or something like that, but, so what was I writing here? Right, okay, so what I'm trying to do is instance dot player input, and Actions. This again just gives me. Oh no, this just does give me the map. Okay. Dot. Right. Okay. So we have to do one more check. So if we actually have a current action map, then we go dot find action, I guess. Yeah. So access comma false. So what is this called? Input action. Input action. So if input, if action is not equal null, so we actually have this action defined. We're gonna do something. I'm not super pleased on this because this is gonna be happening a lot, and this is like a lookup every single time I do it. It's read value, I guess. Just look at some of these values here. So is in progress. I'll have to read the value basically as a float. But there is like an enable disable element to this. It does have it enabled. I mean, so I'm doing this. I think though, like, I think I can actually inspect the code here. Yeah, it's doing a find, isn't it? Oh God, yeah. That's so if you try to get the value, otherwise it does some sketchy stuff. I mean, it's most of the time it's going to be doing this, which is fine. There's just a way to disable that because it's checking more stuff each time, but it is just doing a dictionary lookup. So there's no way I can, like, if I save this and cache this, it's not going to necessarily, like, be any better. So yeah, we'll go read volume. And we return that basically. Otherwise, we return 0. Old system code. So I'll leave that there just for reference for now, but it should handle that part. So let's just find the references to this. So I think right now, all right, I actually have the scroll. So charge and horizontal and vertical and look XY. So those kind of the 4 that I'm finding, but all right. So the way they do it is they have a move, which is a vector 3. Which is interesting. And look, the same thing. Well, I guess, yeah, I mean, I can change these to be vectors. Except for the scroll wheel. I don't know how you get that. Oh, there's axis, yeah. But the other ones would be better if they were just a single lookup. So I'd probably, I mean, in that case, I need to make a new method. So I'll leave get axis, but I'll say make a thing called get I'll say get vector too. I don't know. It's probably I'll just say I'll get a vector. And I don't need this ignore blocker part because we don't need that. So we do instead here. This is going to be a vector 2. This is vector 2.0. Vector 2.0. And read value vector 2. Okay, input. And so that'll get the vector. So now I can do those ones just slightly different. Okay. Whew. So let's go and change these. That'll all be down here. Leave. Yeah, okay. So I don't know why I say this. Oh, I don't know why. Okay. Although, really, why? All right, because it's the movement, that's the direction it should go. So, raw input what I'll say. And then we'll go raw input equals new input manager dot get vector, and we'll specify this is move. And I should be able to replace this with raw input dot x and this with raw input dot y. Alrighty, so we have these two set up, and then lower down I have look X and look Y. So we'll do something similar. Just copy this. Let's call this look input. And then we'll put in look. And we will replace this with look.y and look.x. Okay. That's set up there. We just want to close those to the right. Close these. Okay. Now this only has 3 references. Flashlight, yeah, and then this. So I don't know how much I really care about this, but I guess I can fix it. It's like a deprecated way of character movement, but just so that I don't have to think about it later, I'll just fix it so that it supports it. My game used to be a top-down game, so that's why I have that. So in input manager, you only have one reference in get access, and that is this, which makes sense. You actually should be in access. Okay. Okay. Next. So the next thing is we're taking the inputs. I got the look, move. I was gonna probably add flashlights. Let's add a new one. Let's add charge flash light. Should have probably checked what I. Let's just not do a enter there. Okay, so charge flashlight, right? That's the same. Rename. Okay. So this is going to be a value. It's going to be an axis. And then we're going to go add a binding to the keyboard. By character mapped to key. Do I just type in? F. Keyboard and mouse. think there's supposed to be something up here that I'm supposed to type into, but I'm F on the keyboard. There we go. Okay. Oh, no, this is charge flashlight. Oops. Okay, 1 second. Keyboard and mouse. Um, middle mouse. Add a binding. Okay, let's try this again. Keyboard and mouse. Why is it always going to keyboard? I wanna make it. I think there's like an issue where there's a thing up here, but it's also being a little borked. Scroll. Okay. Scroll Y, I assume. Okay, that's a direct link. So scroll Y. Okay. So then I should be able to. This should automatically just go and do the charge flashlight thing. All right. I think. I think that's what it's doing. We have that set up. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do for. How will I like charge a flashlight on a controller if I do that? But I don't know, maybe like a trigger or something. Maybe like a left trigger or something, but it's gonna maybe have to be a different type of control. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not thinking about that too hard right now. What I want to see, I guess, is just we've got enough that we can move and we can look around and we can charge a flashlight with this new input system. So let's just verify that that works before I dare do anything more. Kirby's enjoying the floor again. Very cute doggo. It's just sitting over there. Just a little bit. Load game, yeah. And it's coming in dialogue. Okay, I can look around, I can move. Woot. We can charge my flashlight. Why is my flashlight seemingly always charged? Okay, no, there we go. Okay, it just took a long time to go down, but there we go. There we go. Okay. Things never work this smoothly the first time I want to do things. I also never checked if my invisible walls work. Yay, my invisible walls work. They kind of, they're little, I should make them slippery. Because, yeah, it's weird when you're, like, walking against the wall and you're kind of, like, catching. So I'll make that change before I forget about it. Just take all these walls. Go physics material. Sliding. Okay. So then next up is actually other inputs. So these are all the axes, but I have a bunch of inputs. And I probably want them to, actually do things. The thing I'm gonna have to remember though is for this, I think this is never used now, so I can just kind of remove it. Is I do actually have certain UI options that I still want to activate when the player is the main input. So I'll have to figure out that part. But we'll see. Let's look at get button. What do I have on get button here? Morse tap. Hold to lock permission. Right, this is actually yeah, when I eventually otherwise we use it. I kind of like how this somewhat works. But we'll see. So, and then the other one is run, right? So it's sprint. We could probably do all these things. So these are all strictly player. They're not going to be on any HUD or anything like that. I wonder if I should make it so that there's like UI, and then there's like, I don't know. I guess you can't have two action maps defined at the same, because there are some UI actions that I would want to happen, like cancel and basically just cancel for the most part, that I probably want to always be available, but I could just move that into the player state, and that would be more or less okay. Because I guess you can't have like a sub map. No. I guess you could duplicate mapping, or like if you had a specific UI. Because like there are situations where I go in like, oh, my music stopped. So quiet. Yes, I'm still listening to your music. White bad audio. Okay. So we have current back, switch current actions, get button. And yeah, so this was the thing with the thinking about how I map those. So like make like an always available map or something, but that seems a little silly too. So I think for now I'll keep going with the way I'm setting up. So we will add a player one or sprint, I guess I'll call it. It's going to be a button. It's going to be shift. Is left shift or is it just shift? We'll do left shift. No, okay. Excuse me. Yeah, keyboard and mouse. Okay. Yeah, that's all I have to do for now. I guess I'm gonna have to rename it because I renamed it, but shift. So I need to actually change this. So let's do the whole change here, basically. Can't. Le bouton. I realized I didn't actually change. I didn't check if the controls worked when I was like in UI or anything like that. So I should check that next time. But I assume there's probably some sort of like button is pressed. Okay. I don't think I actually need that. Check again, but I think all of these don't use it. Yeah, okay. So run, morse tap, and run, button, morse tap, do that, okay. Right, so I should add the morse tap and hold the lock permission. So let's add another morse tap. And this is going to be left mouse Where's mouse? Right button. Press middle button, left button. I do have both, so add a negative, positive, just another binding. Right button. I like really click it a lot of times for it to accept it. Okay. Left button, right button. Those are both tappable. So then you have that one, and then we have lock, hold to lock mission. So actually, this would be actually. I'm gonna delete this one. How do I delete this? Delete. So this actually should then this one logically this gets called here, right? This should actually just be should be a get button down for the combination of Alt +1, Alt +2, Alt +3. That would be the key that I would be actually checking. Right, so in key codes, instead of permission 1, we would have you'd have 2, right? We'd have 1 for the lock and then 1 for the other thing. Maybe a little bit more checking. Or you can put a modifier on it, I guess. That's what you do. You add a modifier, and then if the modifier is available, you can check that when you press it. Yeah. Okay, so I don't even need that one. That one can just be changed later when I get to those ones. Get button. Okay, so these are the only 2 holds basically that I have. And I implemented that in here. So let's check if that works. Save. We'll go back to our main scene. Go play. I was getting a null. Yeah. 23. Audio manager not set up. It's probably, I think I understand why that's happening. Because my persistent manager, I made input system here. So let's go put it after audio at least. That's probably good. I think I need it before Screen Manager, but it should mostly be okay because I think most things will be, if you don't press anything, it's fine. Ugh. Ooh. There'd be a switched beds. He's now in the red one. Whoa. I see. That's not nice looking. uh, maybe let's move this. We'll see. See if I can put anything. We'll. I don't know. We'll see if I can put Input Manager down here. Good water. Nope. Okay. Getting a bazillion null references here. Level Manager, Flashlight Manager. Oh wait, it should be an or. Yeah, it's current action map because I haven't defined it. It's in the loading screen. Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of weird I wasn't getting that before. Did I not? I wonder if I hadn't actually recompiled. I probably hadn't recompiled. So the last time I checked, everything was nice and hunky dory. Probably because nothing had actually applied. So this, I guess, is the actual real first test. Let's see. These were actually getting a nulls though. 73. Um, that's not what I'm checking. 73. Clear input, switch character map. Did I? Did I not actually drag in player input into like input manager here? No. Yeah, I definitely did not actually test this properly when I tested that first time. It was not done. It was not done right. When I said it almost never works on the first time. It was true because that wasn't actually the first time testing it. It was like -1 time testing it because it was testing the wrong thing. Ah, ah. Okay, let's actually test this properly. One game. Still getting it all. All right. Okay. Can't be null. When you go find action map. Okay. Hmm. I guess what I should be doing is instead of setting null, I should say deactivate input. And then if I get past here, I would go activate input. Trying to know, okay, it's like if this, I looked at this code. Hmm. So it's just a field. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't, instead of, should I just go enabled equals false? Enabled equals true, maybe? Because the activate was basically going to call this afterwards anyways, so we'll see if that works better. Ooh. Okay, still a lot of nulls there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. I was checking if it was not null, and then I would go out. So only in the case that I would crash the game would I actually proceed to go crash the game. That was a smart line of code there. And that's probably also I need to like, yeah, this is literally in return vector 3.0. Okay, and then also here return false. Okay. Let's go recompile again. Right. What I learned from watching Godot streams is you try everything 3 times, maybe it'll start working. Or stop. Definitely feels like the winds are in the Godot land, but I don't want to go into it into Godot yet. Okay, no errors, so that's something. I really appreciate it. In dialogue. Okay, I can look around, but holy crap, is that's sensitive. Oh, so I can't move. So that's a thing. Um, why is that? Okay, so I can't move. Um, I guess I can't tell if I can sprint or not. With my flashlight charge? Let's see, that goes down. No. All right. Fun. Okay. Um, God. So why, like, move works? No, look works. Look works, but move doesn't. Hmm. Okay. These ones are really annoying to debug log, like breakpoint log, because they're happening every single frame. Uh, like as soon as I touch this, it's gonna, yeah, start breaking. Okay, so it does get into here, but it actually shouldn't. Okay, so it's probably doing that part until I go like this, and then now what is it getting? Should be able to tell me what input is. Look, yeah. Wait, what? Why did I call that shift? That would definitely make those not work. Okay. Well, I know why those don't work now. So that's relieving. To know that that's part of it. Oh my god, this it's so incredibly sensitive. I don't even have. I think my settings are right now like middle. Really got to fix why this thing takes so long to load the settings screen. Um, yeah, the camera sensitivity is just middle. I think it's just like the first time this comes in. Yeah. I think a lot of their like animator things are really expensive. Which is unfortunate. Uh, okay, so let's just go to here. Yeah, so there's a mouse delta. Is there like you can scale it or normalize it. Um, hmm. I don't know if I'd want to normalize it, but I'd want to like maybe scale it. We'll see how scale feels once I actually look in here. We'll just compile because I needed to fix the movement stuff. Uh, no. Okay, still super sensitive there, but I can't actually move now. Sprinting does not work. Okay. Good to know. I don't think the charging of the flashlight works either, but we'll see. Hey, Brother Laveris, thank you. It's mostly me tweaking an existing pack. There's if you look online, there's a place Vol FX, I think is what it's called. No. Oh, Nulltail Vol FX. So, although I think I actually got them off Itch. Yeah, it's taking a lot of these things basically. They have a lot of cool ones. And specifically, I use a lot of the dither. Um, and so that's what I'm doing. But right now I'm doing the experiencing Unity's new input system. But yeah, I've definitely since I started using this, I see it everywhere now. Whenever I go into like see other video games being played by other streamers, I see these type of shaders being used a lot. Do you make horror games as well, or are you just making general games? I think I want to like. I think I want to scale it. I don't know, like 0.25. I'll set it with 0.25 feels like. Resume. That does not feel like it's already scaled. Hmm. Just cutting off. But just use a Twinkie to get work, yeah. And then I had a bundle of a died project, but you had a proto of a horror game where the main character had 24 color pixel visor. Cool, yeah. I have like, that's not like quite. Is this the current palette I'm using? I think this is the current palette I'm using for all my colors. So it's Yeah, I removed some of the darker blacks because it added better effects, but effectively it's, 6 times 8 colors. I'm doing a lot of tweaking on that. It's really hard to like tweak properly because you get some issues if you take too many colors away, you get some weird color banding. But then if you put too many, then it just doesn't feel like it's properly crunched and stuff like that. Right? So I spent like several hours, several streams just toying away on that. Um, I feel like I'm not using this properly. I think the thing that I'm probably doing wrong is that I'm trying to still use this as if it was the old input manager. And maybe I should just abandon that. And instead of having that, I should be able to get the access that I want directly, or the action from the input manager. And then the individual things can just use them. But then they'd have the reference to it. That's probably a better overall thing. So let's maybe then public static. This probably won't be public static. We'll go public void. The input system I can only recommend if you want some complex behaviors. I recommend just adding a subscription in the code and not use Unity or C# events directly. Yeah, I wasn't going to use any of the C, anything like that. One thing actually, the other part, there was like when I looked at this, there was like a generate C# class. I wonder if that would be better than dealing with this other stuff. I trying to think of a different name besides player input, but I think player input's almost kind of like the I'm gonna say input. I don't know. No, player input's probably still better. All right, we'll do player input. Fine. That's spelled it right. Yeah. Okay. I assume I should probably not do save. I just didn't want to do this while in play mode, but you know, if I use axis, it's okay, but I don't want to make an event to trigger it if I hold a button more than n seconds. Doesn't work. Right. So this code was auto-generated. So I want to see how this actually. Yeah, okay, no, so that was a mistake. Should call this SOS. But line. I might have to delete the old one. Just renamed it there. Um, but then SOS. Save. Okay. Save. And then we'll delete the other one. So I don't want this name yet. SOI. Yes, delete this one. Okay. So fun thing, input can suddenly stop registering and break compile, restarting. Restarting Unity fixes it, yeah. It's very fun. I just mainly want it for the fact that I can like rebind things a lot easier than the old system, but just wanted to look what this actually does. Okay. Oh, so I put it in JSON and then load it. Okay. And then they have, so this inherits from input action collection. Find action. But it has, yeah, it has the actions defined already. Works, it's great. When it breaks, it's super stupid. That's a lot of things in life. I've never seen this at be used in C#. So I'm not entirely sure what that whole thing's about, but just trying to find. Okay, so you have player actions interface. So they say these things are used. Where are they used? Find action. Okay, it's assigned. And the wrapper is a play move. Okay. And this is a struct. And where is this defined? input action set public player actions new player actions. I'm okay for now, but thanks. I'm just player actions here. Okay, so they just have a public thing here. So I think the way that this is supposed to work is then you'd actually specify instead of doing this, I guess you would go you would have like a public SOS layer input, and I would go inputs or something. And I would do a get and a private set, and I guess I would make this capitals. Follow some of my naming conventions. And then in instances, we would go inputs equals new player input. I don't think you need to put anything in there, but you just define it. Okay, so it's defined. Cool. I don't even know if I have to wait for the whole start thing anymore, but and then what I could do is, for example, let's go to character. We could go input manager dot instance. All right, okay. Input manager. I'll just make it static, whatever, I don't care. Inputs dot yeah, so it would have to do player, but then you'd have to still probably do the whole read value, I think, at the end here, right? I mean, it's not doing a lookup anymore from what it was doing before. The thing I'm not certain about is what happens when I go read value, for example. Okay, just check this. Get or create action map. Okay. If it's in progress, then they do something to do something. Sometimes feel like I'm no longer even reading C# when I read some of these codes, but apply processors. If state equals null. Yeah, so I know that I'm just trying to, what I'm trying to verify now is if the, for example, in your case, if the Raven something was disabled, right? Like in the UI state, does that automatically just give me back the default? It kind of looks like it does. It's checking a state value. Um, Input action state. I'll just test it and find it out. For example, move. Okay, so I put move in. Um, I'll do the same thing for the look. Might as well. Make sure we actually compile this. Load game. Okay. Okay. No, nothing works. So I can't look and I can't move. Cool. So. Do I need to do something here with like initializing this? So like, hey, you're active. You can do things. Hmm. Okay, maybe. Well, actually, probably I should be handling a blocker state for inputs instead of the player input thing that I had here. So we'll go into here for a second. So this is no. Just look through. So we have player. We have. UI. You have to call on enable. Right, yeah. Just looking for that function. Oh yeah, enable was disable. So yeah, it's enable. Okay. So in here, I would go disable. I won't remove the other one yet. Let's just check. Asset enable. But it enables all the maps? Oh, okay, wait, so now that one, one second. We will call disabled, and we don't need to call enabled, because what we'll do is we'll go inputs dot in this case this is UI dot enable. Um, Can I like let's take a look back at this again. So where was I? Asset map in action maps. Because I don't want to enable it seems a little silly to go and enable all of them just to disable all of them just to enable one of them, or vice versa, right? Like, although I guess that's kind of what it's saying to do. So kind of what you do, what I'm understanding. You go disable them all. And then I would go inputs.ui.enable. And then in this other case, I would go inputs.player enable. Right? Because it's either or in this case. I disable them all. If it is no inputs, then we block that. Otherwise, we enable this one. Otherwise, we enable this one. Yeah. Well, so the difference is that I have a UI setup and I have a player setup, right? And I don't want them. They're pretty much mutually exclusive. So, although if I'm using this, I might be able to make like the UI. I had a like idea of a map that was going to be kind of used for both of them, but not for this part. So I'm going to see if that works. This is probably going to turn into quite the refactor here. By the way, brother, if I don't know why I'm saying brother is like brother Lavarius. I have to say brother Lavarius. I can't just say hey brother. That's just feels weird to me. Anyways, brother Lavarius. Since you're doing Unity projects, one thing I try to do fairly often is kind of give feedback to various people when they're working on Unity projects. So if you ever get your prototype to a stage on some platform like Itch or Steam, let me know and I can give it some feedback. So I like doing those type of things, but I don't have enough people giving me things to give feedback on. So I keep prodding everyone that I know to ask to get some more feedback. Yo, bro. Yeah. Because it feels like it's more like you're talking about, you know, like a brother Lavarius. It's like a priestly person, and then he's like, "Yo, brother, how you doing?" So the movement. Okay, so yeah, it does. does seem to work like that. Okay, sweet. And the input blocker probably does that. And probably does that. Then if I do Q, which I don't, yeah, it still has all that. What's up with the Lord these days? uh... You like a gangster monk or something like that? Okay. I gotta figure out why is the look so flippin' sensitive? Because it should just be the same old thing that was old mouse look delta, right? But and even like I thought I had a scale on this, but maybe like um where did my character? West Side, back alley, Vatican Dock. Okay, wait. So read the current value of the control that's driving this action. If no bound control is actuated, returns the default value. But note that binding processors are always applied. Okay, you say that, but like, I don't think this processor is getting applied. I feel like it's really not. Okay, let's just prove this by like going like 0.01 and then 0.01, right? Yeah, that's it's not changed. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Oh my god, you have to save it? Ah. Okay. Does that feel any slower though? It doesn't really feel any slower. So okay, so you're talking about like the cool world building idea of making like a West Side, but in the Vatican. I am totally thinking how like how like monks with their big hoods and baggy clothes and everything, and how they could just easily just have a little pouch where they whip out the Glock and then just be shooting people down in that clothing. Um, how that could quite easily be like a ghetto a gangster outfit. Um, but probably also highly offensive to some people. But that's maybe also fun. Um, Screw this. I'm gonna make all that in a. It'll get canceled later. And it's just some. I mean, if Catholics get angry at you, who cares, right? Like, what are they gonna do? At least most Christians can take it and have fun with it. Okay, so maybe do I have to go? Maybe do I go like this and then? No, okay, it should. Just 2 countries away. Yeah. Processor up. Only for joystick. Da, da. I mean, like I can fix it on the other end, right? I just multiply the vector by something silly, like small, but I really shouldn't have to do that. Um, I can fish out my middle school Pascal Tetris if you're really. I'm trying to look for like Unity games or Unity projects, you know? Because a part of it is I can review other games, but I'm mainly just reviewing, their game design or kind of certain how things kind of function, how I can assume they function, but I can't really get any good technical or directional advice when I'm reviewing like an Unreal game because I don't know if. Oh my God, there we go. Okay, so it did finally apply. So point one honestly is still probably more sensitive than I would have liked. Um, oh, shush, Kirby. So one thing I think that's the problem with this is pointer. So if I go, no. What the like? What is this UI Unity? Why is it that your thing to go back is over top of a thing that? Oh my God! Why? Why would you then? You're okay. So this delta, this position is radius. What does radius do? No? Okay, I don't know if that. I actually don't know if that's changed that though. Who knows? What does radius do? Because the thing is, before it used to have. I don't think it's probably applied. Um, the thing with delta is I think it's probably giving me like the pixel amount, how many pixels am I moved, versus I want like just like kind of a screen spaced change. I tell myself exactly that every time I read Unity documentation. I will dive into the ECS soon because I want to make more scaled up cluster heck of for the player to handle and submissions and not have to mess the heavy, careful queue handling. I predicted it will be so fun, especially with the netcode. Oh my God. Yeah. I never want to touch netcode. Probably will at some point, but I just, as it's like a single developer, I can't spend the time doing that. At least on like my first kind of initial release. Okay, yeah, so yeah, radius does not do what I want it to do. Okay. Um, why is this UI so fucking buggy? Oh my god. Um, wonder if it was like, okay, so let's just switch up this. Unity, work like old, I've noticed that I received several updates. Similar look speed. Yeah. You would want a direction. Oh god. You've been typing a lot. I worked with Photon and Fish and Mirror and Forge as a solo. Photon was the most pleasant to work with. Yeah, I briefly worked with Photon a long time ago. Fish is hectic, Mirror is meh, Forge networking is dead, I think. And Unity netcode for game objects is pretty okay, but they didn't port the prediction and other stuff from the netcode for entities, ECS1. Typical Unity behavior, making good features only for shiny cool ECS. Yeah, that's what they want you to do, right? Right, so let's check. So the old input steps go input manager and horizontal. We had a no, it's look X, right? Mouse movement X. Okay, so the old. As far as actions bound to dollars, I'm not sure. Just to note that the old input system, you always get an accumulated value. Yeah, mouse X and mouse Y are always accumulated frame to frame. Um, Nice code by old input system. Canvas sensitivity setting on an old. In Windows. Okay, so the old, yeah, so the old one just did a 0.1 setting. Although it's actually 0.01. Seemingly on Windows only. So I can't make like a conditional one. So this should actually be like 0.5. If I'm reading that correctly, that's probably what it should be. You need prediction and stuff. It makes sense to use ECS because it works better, but still not a huge. Yeah. My only complaint for the longest time. Right, I gotta change this back to. But I can't. Okay. No, no, no. Backspace. Delta. Okay. Is it? Okay. And now still won't work until I do something. I don't know. Could I like? Guess I can't re-enable it or enable it. I just gotta like. There has to be something you would think in here where you call like refresh or something, and it would refresh the actions you have. Yeah, okay. That feels alright, I guess. I just need to check the wife when I'm supposed to end. Um, okay. This feels like the scroll is maybe more powerful. Because let's see, so it's just basically off. Yeah, one scroll did that entire thing. Um, I can clamp it. Um, Maybe is that good? And it's probably not going to apply until I. Uh, is there anything mentioned else in there? So, she's been multiplying with these magic numbers, yeah. Removing the magic values and just sensitivity, yeah. Line processors. Deltas are pretty much the raw for the platform. However, the problems not just in magnitude but distribution. Okay. I think I'm gonna just add the same scaling value, I think, to this scale. Are these processors actually like in script here? That'd be wild. It was. I don't see it though. Let's see. It's higher up. It's not in the UI part. No, it is. It actually does changes the initial JSON file. I see. Okay, so I don't want autosave here. I just need to remember to go save asset. But okay, so that's why it's not. It's changing like the initial values. It's kind of crazy. Okay. Let me just let the dog out. Let's let him in the room. What's up? That seems all right. Flashlight. Let's see. You go down. Jeez. Yeah, it's like a single. Hmm. So I think, let's see if I just check my flashlight manager again. Flashlight manager. Let's see how wild this value is. Mouse charge 6. Huh. Yeah. So like one single little bit is like um incredibly powerful. Um I guess I could clamp it, but that doesn't quite do what I want. Um yeah, so that's the scroll. Hmm. You almost have to like wonder if it's because of like, yeah, the DPI, right? So the only way I can really understand it, I think, is instead of scaling it like this, um, if Unity underscore standalone tag if um the DPI, right? And then I also do that for this. I want to see if that, and I go to look, I remove that. I go out of here, I go save asset. Because the big worry is that if this is giving me a pixelized value, that means it's actually drastically different um, on bigger screens versus smaller screens. Um, Ideally, it should be like that. So I kind of want to scale it like that. You have to wrap up kind of soon. I don't know. Like my wife didn't tell me if. Um, I can go to 8, so I'm gonna just kind of assume that I can go to slightly after 7:30, but not 8. So okay, so that works, albeit definitely a lot slower. At least that should be something that's kind of universal. And the scrolling actually does take a couple of keystrokes. Yeah, or like if I do one, I have to do a little bit. This is probably what somebody would like for an input speed, but like as a base, I don't know if I probably want to have at least scale. I'm gonna do like 1.5 on this. And of course I need to save asset. Do that. Just remember the anti-golden Todd rule, binding physics and movement to first-person shooters or frames per second. Yeah. And I don't think actually my look is not multiplied by any times scaling because that would be silly. Um, yeah. Everything else is, but like look is because it's slightly different. Although I don't know how that. I'll have to check if the controller feels better than that. I don't think I recompiled, did I? With those changes of the saved asset. So it doesn't really feel much faster. Hmm. Weird. I may not be Garazest. I'm trying to like just get the last little bit here done, and then I just want to make sure that the movement looks good, and then probably be wrapping up. Are you heading out as well, or? Guess you've probably been driving home or something. Alright, let's go. Alright, you know what? That's I mean, like that's probably somebody's proper speed. So what I'm gonna just do is I'm gonna set myself there. That still feels a little off to me. There we go. Probably need to change the ranges now because I know I always feel like some people there are people that like it higher than me. It also feels laggy or slow or something. I need to figure out that. Okay, so yeah, I gotta wrap up. She actually said 7:30, so she probably wants me done now. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Sets their mouse sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's a real tough one. That's like probably the most finicky one. But all right. Thank you for following, brother Laverius, our good old brother from the Church of Laverius. I don't know. Thanks for watching. I probably won't write out today because it's so we'll just end stream here and get going because I think yeah, I need to get going. So thanks for all watching, and I'll see you next time.